In this quick video, I'll be going over how to submit a commission form using Salesforce and the automated commission form button. So to start, we have our opportunity here where we have dealer commission and an independent sales rep selected. So if we look down here, there's a new field for dealer commission, and then also the system will look to see if you have an independent rep selected. Then it'll know that there's a commission form required. So in our operations information down here, we have a commission form created button, and this will switch to being true once we create our commission form. So we'll see how that happens. This value can also be overridden by a project manager if needed, but otherwise it is going to go off of whether or not a commission form was created. So to start, we have our button here to create a commission form. But before we do that, we need to go into our quote and make sure that our commission information is updated and accurate. So if we click our quote, and it's important here to make sure that this quote is the primary quote, because that's the only way that it'll start feeding information to the opportunity to create the commission form. So just make sure that's checked before you get too far into this. So new fields that have been added to quote documents here are down below. So we have this whole section here for commission information. And many of these fields are just pulling automatically from the information on the quote. Then there's no need for you to enter any of this in. So if we press edit up at the top here and scroll down, we'll see that the list total of product, net total of product, effective discount percentage, freight total, install total, and all these fields are being calculated automatically from our quote. The only information that you will have to enter is the negotiated commission on the product, freight, and install that you've negotiated with the dealer. And then in the case that our effective product discount goes above 64%, then you'll have to enter in a negotiated rate override. So if we enter in a value here and our effective product discount isn't above 64%, so let's say we have $10,000 of commission going to our dealer, and we hit save, and the system will calculate that now we have an effective product discount of 60%, and it's automatically putting the rep commission into the bracket that it should go to based on this effective product discount. So if we have 6% in here for the negotiated rate, it won't affect this commission rate. If this goes above 64%, so let's say that we have this at 20,000. Hopefully that'll get us to our 64. Almost there. But you see that with rounding, this is rounded to 64%. And now this rep rate override actually fills in here. So let's see if we change that to 5. Oh, so it looks like we need just 1 more percent. So let's go to 22,000. So now we see that our negotiated rep rate override will now impact this rep commission rate, which is the value that's being used to calculate the commission to the rep. We'll also see our total commission to the dealer. If there's commission on the installation, for instance, we would enter that here. So $2,000, let's say, on install, and in the odd case, if there's commission on freight, which there typically won't be, but you can enter that here and hit save, and the system will total all those fields up for the new total commission to the dealer. So now we have our total commission to the dealer and the rep commission amount automatically calculated. And if this, if you look over this information and just see that, okay, this is accurate to what I've negotiated with my independent rep or my dealer, then you should be good to go to submit your commission form. So to submit the commission form, we go back to our opportunity and we press this commission form button. So when we press this button, it opens up our create SDocs window, which is going to automatically create this document for us. So to do that, we select the commission form button, the commission form email template. So this will automatically create an email for us that sends this form out, saving a step. You don't have to create the email template or have to create the email through the system. You could do it another way, but this is what just saves you time, and it gives us consistency with the forms coming in. So I would recommend using this email template. If we press next step, now the system will generate our documents for us. So at this point, once this view documents opens and we have these documents here, the documents are actually created in the system. So we don't need, if we went back, we would see that now there's documents attached, even if we don't email. But I would recommend going through and finishing out the emailing of the document just to make sure that everything is ready to go. So if we want to view this document before emailing just to make sure that everything looks right, you just press the document button there, and this will load our PDF. And here we see we have all the information about the project, the independent rep. We have some values for accounting to look over just to verify that this is accurately calculating. And then we below have our total commission to the rep and our total commission to the dealer. And so with this, you have enough information to inform accounting about how much to actually pay out to our rep and our dealer. So we close that, and let's just finish out emailing to show you how that works. So if we press that email button, it pulls from the template, and you see here it's automatically emailing project management as well as accounting. And then it also includes your email address on here. So right now it's showing my email address, but if you were to send this out, it would use your email address. Then Roy and Wilson are also blind copied. Our subject is already auto-populated, our body is already auto-populated, and our document is attached. So there's really nothing else you have to do here other than press send. So if we send that document out and go to our email, and since you were copied on the email, it will now appear in your email as if it's coming from a system generated from no reply at salesforce.com. And then it has your email as the address here. So because this is internal, it's not a huge deal if it's coming from Salesforce or your email. And then we'll see this document here. So here's our PDF, just like we saw it in the preview. And all the needed parties are copied on it. So that's really all there is to it. At this point, if we refresh our opportunity, we see that we now have two SDocs attached. We also see that because we put dealer commission in, this box is now checked for dealer commission, and we also see that our commission form created button is checked. So everything should be good to go. If we wanted to move this to 90, then we would just mark that as a current stage. There's going to be a validation in the system that if there is dealer commission or an independent sales rep and a commission form hasn't been submitted, then it's going to require you to create that submission form before you can move the project to stage 90. So just keep that in mind. If you get an error, that's going to be why. If you're in a custom situation where maybe we're on old price list, for instance, and you're using discount to account for that inflation and price increase from the old contracts, then you can contact your project manager and they will check this commission form created button for you so that you can get around that if you've submitted the commission form. So other than that, that's all there is to it. If you have any issues, please let me know.